Hello folks, I hope you enjoyed this board build for 0 to 100 hours, our little Saint Nazaire tribute to Operation Chariot. Thanks to our friends over at Sarissa Precision, we have a prize for this vlog series. A £50 voucher for Sarissa's web store. If you want to be in with a chance to win, you can comment below this video. And if you want an extra chance, come over to OnTableTop.com and comment on the video there as well, and you'll be quids in. Now sit back and enjoy the build. Hello folks, John is back. He hasn't seen what I've done to the table while he's been away. It's all fine, John. Everything you said was fine. I've left all of it intact. Don't worry about it. It's good. It's good times. However, the board's pretty much done. So now we've got to worry about what's going on the board. As you can see, we've dragged out the fantasy tabletop stuff again, of which we have not enough. But we do have it, and the first thing I have there, John, is a big bag of corrugated cardboard that I got for Rome, which Lloyd refuses point blank to build for me, and I don't know why. So we're going to corrugate our warehouse. The nice thing about this is that bit comes off, so we can happily corrugate it and paint it without having to worry about ruining any of the pre-printed texture. And I think it's worth its weight in gold in and of itself. So I've not done the research on the corrugation of World War II warehouses to date. Do you want to do that research, John?
Not really, no.
No, I think we're just going to stick that on. We'll pick a direction and we'll do layers because we've got loads of it. But it'll give us a nice roof for a rundown warehouse. I don't think we're going to do anything else clever. I can't foresee us putting doors or anything on that part. But that one lone little building will not fill a board, unfortunately. However, this will. Bless it. So the guys over at Sarissa very happily joined in to do our Operation Chariot. And I went, John, go and find stuff from Sarissa that will do some form of Operation Chariot-like board. Because we've seen it. It's in the book and everything. They have all of these bits and pieces in the 0 to 100 hours book. And I figured, well, hell, if it's good enough for 0 to 100 hours, then it's probably good enough for our 0 to 100 hours?
What?
If they're going to use that from Sarissa to make their own tables, then we can use that from Sarissa to make our tables. And so John went off and started prowling through the World War II stuff. And what did you pick?
Just about everything. They had a whole industrial section, and I was just like, yes. And everyone was like, well, what are you going to take from it? And I just continued to say yes, and selected practically all of it. Because it all fits with that sort of dockside kind of industrial, little bit of red brick building and stuff like that going on in there. So we got these kits in because obviously this works. All of this works with the searchlight and the little checkpoints and stuff. Yeah. We got the gantries that I wanted. We got some water towers.
The water tower is nice.
The water tower is nice.
The two gantries are really nice for just adding both height to the board for gameplay, but also that I think will go hopefully right across our dry dock. I'm not sure how these wheels are supposed to move because theoretically on our dry dock, they should be going the other way. So I don't know if we're going to move them or if we're just going to go, those wheels are pointing in the wrong direction, suck it up.
I think we could change it. It's all MDF anyway. If we want to change the direction of these wheels, we probably can. Even if we have to cut and pin something, I guess.
Yeah. So that's all fairly nice. We got these little lights as well because I was curious to try adding some spotlights. Everything's supposed to be at night. And then when I was off hunting for bits and pieces, I came across these adhesive gem stickers. And it was like, oh, that will be my light bulbs right there. Right, 100% there. So we'll see how they look whenever they get glued on. I'm not sure how you're feeling about this. I'm not planning on doing a huge amount of detailing because I want to keep things relatively easy to build and snappy. So, I mean, gems, sure. a bit of the corrugation for maybe some of the roofs, maybe. But otherwise, I think they should more or less come out of the traps fully formed. But the one thing we don't really have here are military sort of emplacements, defensive emplacements like ack-ack towers, gun pits, things like that. So, John, I know you like your ones and zeros. Do you think you could find something that would work to enforce the dockside?
Yeah, I'm going to have a look and see if there's anything that kind of fits. The problem with it is World War II isn't a licensed thing. Everyone can do it. Everyone can make it. No issues there. Perfect. It's brilliant. The problem is because you can make it with no problems means that everybody sells it, and it's very hard to find any sort of just nice little free files that you can play with. But we'll have a look around, see what's available. I'm sure there's tons of stuff out there, and if there isn't tons of stuff, the next time I'm talking about it, I will say there wasn't a lot of stuff that I could get easily, and it was a bit of a desert. But here's what I found anyway.
Okay.
So there will be something.
Yeah. Well, the alternative to that is I end up breaking out the foam card and building some stuff. As far as our little Saint Nazaire adjacent part goes, we're probably going to be building something that's more like the far side of this. So where you've got the dry docks.
Sort of here.
Yeah. And then some industrial buildings. However, right on the far side, there's a big, long line of industrial, well, whatever those buildings are with the sort of the warehousey factory-like things and the big smokestack, which we have some of, and it backs onto the old French town. So at some point, if we wanted to change the board up and get it from less industrial dockside, we could have it ramping straight into just sort of generic European, here's the old town that built out and then the docks were sort of built around it. I think this all got absolutely bombed to bejesus and flattened. But it means we can mix it up by slotting in some industrial stuff alongside the more regular residential buildings as well, and play around with that, because we don't have to be actually settled on a specific place. It's a table that we can play around with and fit our own sort of narrative into. So we've got a load of MDF to build. John has to start prowling the internet for ones and zeros. And then hopefully we'll get that together. And when you see us again, some of this will be built, some things will be printed, and we can work out what way we're going to paint them.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the next part of our Operation Chariot table build. As you can see, I don't have the pillar of Gerry beside me today because I've had to do this stuff all on my own because Gerry didn't want to build anything. So that's great. He's doing most of the painting anyway. It's fine. He doesn't know that yet. He's going to be doing a lot of the painting. So where are we at? From the last time we left you when Gerry was doing the water effects and stuff on the sea part of the board, I was left with all the Sarissa Precision terrain to work on and to modify a little bit. So I've not built Sarissa in a long time. I think we're maybe talking 10 years at this point, so I haven't had my hands on any sort of modern iterations of their kits. So when we got all that stuff through, I just went, yeah, I'll handle this. Maybe I regret that decision, but there you go. Several days later, a little bit of swearing and some clear PVA glue, which turned out to be a lifesaver because it was amazing and cheap. We have all the terrain built. So here we have it. This is in a little bit of a layout that I kind of like and kind of fits that sort of dockside kind of feel to it. There's plenty of room. There's plenty of stuff there as well. We got all our little light fixtures and stuff built along with the buildings. All these kits went together really well, really fast. I have a little bit of B-roll there for one of the buildings being put together. It's really simple. There's not much to them. And I like that simplicity because it lets you get a lot done in an afternoon or an entire day. Some of the things I like the most is our little pieces of barbed wire. So we have our little barricades here and our hedgehogs, and the barbed wire turned out quite nice. It's probably not how they wrap those barbed wire, but I don't care. My favorite part of the table is the searchlight. I absolutely adore this searchlight because there's so much in it it's crying out for an LED or crying out for a nice paint job with a big silvered inner sort of part on it there. So once everything was built, where did we go next? You can probably tell already where we went next, because there's a couple of buildings that are incredibly bright next to everything else. So Gerry brought in a lot of corrugated cardboard, and at that he said, let's make a couple of roofs and stuff like that and change a few things up. So on our little sentry post here, we took a single piece and wrapped it over the top of the roof insert. So that's just the standard roof that came with the kit, with this stuff over the top. And then a little piece of paper folded across the top to make it look like a little bit of waterproofing. On our larger building, which I've b-rolled a little bit of, not too much, we have the roofing done in segments. So I've cut strips and glued them on to each side, and then again with a piece of paper and some PVA glue, just settled that all down. We're not worried about this when it comes to painting, because this entire roof section lifts off, so we can spray and paint that without having to worry about damaging any of the existing coloration on that particular piece of terrain. Where did we go next? I'm glad you asked. Gerry wanted a bunker. Gerry wanted an anti-aircraft bunker or an anti-aircraft emplacement or something like that. That was something we couldn't find for free, so we went the next best thing. I found a STL file for a bunker, just your standard little, I'm a concrete bunker from Saving Private Ryan, this is what I am. It was free, and I downloaded it. I then realized it was in 15mm scale, and I was like, well, that's not going to do, so we had to scale it up. I didn't accurately scale this up, because all I did was take a 28mm figure, stand them on the build plate, and just scale until this door was more or less the same height as the figure. What's nice about it is the roof comes off, and we can access the inside as well. So after painting, that should look all right. There's a few steps there because we printed it in a very low, fast quality, so the layer heights are quite thick. But maybe a little bit of work on that will smoothen that out, make it look a bit more interesting. Where am I going next? I don't know, because we're at the point where I've given a couple of ideas to Gerry for a couple of things when it comes to painting. So the first one I did was, I was thinking, we have all these lights, and in 0 to 100 hours, I believe, lights are actually part of the game. They will illuminate certain parts of the table. So what my idea was to get a piece of acetate and cut it in a circle underneath the light, use an airbrush to spray it white, and give us a pool of light that we can move along or move around the table in different layouts, depending on where we want to put the lamps. So that's something that Gerry's thinking of. Maybe he's going to work on that. I don't know. But at this stage, everything here is basically ready to start painting. And I think in the next one, Gerry and I'll get Gerry back. I'll drag him back in by the heels, get him back in, and we can talk about painting, what we plan to do, how weathered do we want it to be, and how fast do we want to achieve that finished job as well. So for now, thanks for watching, and until next time, see you soon.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.